one of the beefs that you're most popular known for is the 50 Cent stuff, man. You do this New York record with Ja Rule and Jada. Did you ever think like it would turn into anything?
No. Like, Ja was my man. You know what I'm saying? This was an anthem for New York. And, but 50, I understood, I grew up in the streets and it's either predator or prey. So I understood his reasoning for going at Fat Joe because, he was trying to finish Ja Rule and Fat Joe's his man. Fat Joe got a bunch of street credibility, bunch of this, and he just felt like I was giving him that strength. And so he was like, yo, let's just, it's like a Putin situation. Like, he's just like, yo, we gotta get Putin and his man who wants to be on the front line, Pergoni, we gotta get him too. And so I understood what his thing was. Did I think he would come at me? No. And it was pretty much, it was so brilliant because it was the shock and awe effect. Because Fat Joe, although I worked for everything I got, although I never extorted nobody, although I didn't bully nobody, I had the persona of New York Suge Knight. Like, people feared Fat Joe and the Terror Squad in that way. So for him talking about Fat Joe in the same city, it was like, like the funeral homes was like, anticipating, they was like, oh no, they coming through. Like, the funeral homes was making bids. Like, oh, it's coming through. Your normal person is like, oh no. This is like, just think of wherever you from, like two of the most dangerous crews are going crazy. And then he has such a reputation, I got such a reputation that it was not going nowhere but violence. And we were almost forced to like go crazy if we ever bumped heads. It was forced. Like, it was like they got to go. You know what I'm saying? So thank God that because Chris Lighty died, we squashed the beef, and now we the best of friends now. We could tell jokes about shit, and it's crazy. But it was a very tense moment.
Were you surprised when he dissed you on Piggy Bank?
Yeah, I was surprised anybody would diss me. Like I tell you, my reputation was pretty impeccable in this game. Anybody who ever fronted on us, we gave it to them. So it's just, these are all facts. Like, you know what I mean? So like, it was like almost like a suicide mission. Like, oh no, word? You're gonna go ahead? Like, I was surprised. I was like, oh, I wasn't used to that. I had to learn. 50 Cent taught me a lot of patience. He taught me I had to learn. I had to adapt.
Was he the first person to actually go at you?
Yes. And I had to learn. I had to learn how to not be impulsive. I had to adapt to social media. I come from an era no social media. So right now, if you look at Fat Joe on Instagram, I got 5.4 million. If I was 19 years old right now, I have 200 million fans. This is their time, right? And I still know how to tap in and be relevant on everything. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, he was young. He knew what the social media was. I had to learn. I had to learn. And so it was growing pains with 50 Cent because, he would say something and I would answer back. We just didn't understand. Social media, it ain't for real street guys because we just don't know how to react on there. And, in the street, somebody says something about you, you just pull up. What we doing? And social media, motherfucker in Albuquerque, New Mexico, talking like he down the block. Big time.
Yeah, that's real.
No, it's too real. They talking to you like they getting spicy, but they moonlights away. You know, it ain't pull up over here, man. What's up? It's like, pull up where? Like,
How many times did you guys run into each other? Was it just the once at the award
one
show?
time. In 6, 7 years, it was one time we ran into each other. And that was like recipe for a disaster. We was there for the tribute for Chris Lighty, but it was almost like a setup. His trailer was in front of ours. You know, it's a 50 Cent, Fat Joe. Like, come on, what you think's gonna happen? These guys are both terrible guys, man. It's about to go there. Like, what? I think they set it up. Like, they was like, all right, let's see. And that day, the whole industry was out there looking like, okay, these guys been talking a lot of shit about each other. Like, it's about to go down.
I believe I've interviewed somebody else and they said the same thing, that they felt like they set somebody up. But you lost out on a deal, Michael Jordan?
Yeah. You know, I was going to be the first artist, rapper to ever have a sneaker, a Jordan collab. And I was meeting with actual Michael Jordan, not even with like designers. And, you know, Michael Jordan was picking I wanted to be Latino. I wanted to we was like really meeting with Jordan here in Vegas too a couple of times. It was like, and then when we got into that 50 Cent beef, you know, everybody else was so nervous. And then we had that shit on MTV where I had dissed him live on TV and they dissed me. And it just seemed like I said, the funeral homes was like, they was waiting, you know. So Michael Jordan, who's my friend, mentor, somebody who I look up to, he had to call and be like, yo, you know, I ain't into that type of stuff. Maybe in the future or something.
How much do you think you lost out on beefing with 50?
I don't know, man. I know if it wasn't for anything else, it would have been a great thing to say. You know, I got the first Jordan collab, you know, to show. It would have been a great part of history.
For sure, for sure. Well, Chris Lighty, you know, he passes away and you guys end everything, you know. How hard, or was that easy to end it? You know, like, what was the process?
Man, you know, it was so much bad blood, you know what I'm saying, between us that, you know, I really, really thought it would be violence, you know what I'm saying? And Chris Lighty, you know, throughout the whole thing, he discovered me. He wanted me and 50 to squash the beef and not beef. Through the whole time, he kept telling 50 that, kept telling me that. So when he died, I went to the funeral. I purposely went alone. I didn't want these maniacs with me, you know, so that one of them would start some shit, you know. So I made sure I went alone. And 50 of them was in there. They ain't look at me up or nothing like that. But the whole funeral was scared. Like, you could just see everybody, paying respects to Chris Lighty, with Joe's back there, 50's up here. It was like tense, you know, but we didn't say nothing to nobody and to each other. I left, no problem. And then I got the call from BET saying, yo, we want to do a tribute for Chris Lighty. I said, yeah. They told me 50 Cent doing it too. I said, all right, let's go. And that's what happened. We went into rehearsal and we ended up by each other. And, you know, the story, you know, we made peace.
And how did your guys' relationship kind of continue on from there?
After that, we became really, really cool. And, you know, he would come to Miami just to visit me. And, you know, one year we did I did a birthday party for him on a yacht, big yacht. You know, like a 200-footer or some shit, you know? And you know, we cool ever since, man. He's been a man of his word. I've been a man of my word.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.